right. Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. We'll see if we can wait a couple minutes here and get a few people in. I posted the video upload uh, announcement, but apparently it just went online a few minutes ago. So we're going to wait here a minute and see if we got anybody else online. Just went online a few minutes ago. You're going to have to get the voice down.
I was
Okay.
making sure that
All right.
was working.
We got one in here. Anybody with us right now?
We got two. If you're listening,
and we actually if you actually hear us and can hear our voice, because we're not sure if we got everything working. We're not in our coach tonight.
As you can see,
we're in a very, very beautiful coach. How about giving us a thumbs up or tell us hello or something? Anybody out there tonight? Well, we're going to start anyway, and I know we will get a lot of people later on. But we have Rob and Vickie with us tonight. Hey there. Hey, John, I hope you're doing good. I'm sorry we weren't able to hook up while you were down in Athens, but it got kind of crazy for us, family and everything. Maybe we'll run into each other later on. We are in Napanee, Indiana. We just had to get a few things corrected with our solar, and we had two inverters installed, Victron inverters installed, and we took out the Magnum inverters that we had, and we're going to address all of that in a coming video. But we wanted tonight to let Rob and Vickie.
I'm sorry,
their dog is doing what Maggie does.
He's doing what Maggie does.
Maggie wants to be right in the middle of the action. Wants to, yeah. See, he's bringing his ball and stuff like that. But they had a solar put on here at we're at actually
Solar Energy Systems of Indiana.
Yeah, Solar Energy Systems of Indiana. And actually we had that's where I had my first solar put on the RV. They're very, very good. Howdy. They're very good, and we trust them, and they're bonded, insured, and all that stuff. And they specialize in Victron equipment. And we're going to let y'all tell us here what you had done to your coach when you did it yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I installed my system myself. It was planned to do it in over several months. Initially, I had AGM batteries, and they were getting old and not performing very well. And so I made the decision to upgrade to lithium batteries at that time. So I purchased 5 of the Elevation 120 amp hour batteries then, and along with 6 solar panels and a solar charge unit. I tied that into my existing Magnum system, Magnum inverter. And then in August, I decided to take the next step of upgrade, and I added 2 Victron inverters, another solar charger, and then I wired it all into my coach at that time, and made the switch and removed the Magnum inverter and installed the Victron. And that was a big task to wire everything appropriately. And we got that done, and it worked well. And then just a few weeks ago, I added 6 more solar panels to complete our installation. We also added 3 more lithium batteries at that time. So we have a total of 8 for 60 amp hours of capacity. And so we have 12 200-watt solar panels, 2 Victron multi-plus inverters. So we have 6,000 watts of power available to us, so we can run a couple air conditioners, and we're very happy with our system. We've had a few little glitches, most of them caused by me, and those have been identified.
Minor things
that
take all day to find.
That take a long time to find, and then sometimes a long time to correct, but I think we're in good shape now. And
I wish that y'all could see their coach. It is absolutely beautiful.
We purchased a 2011 Tiffin Zephyr in April of 2021, and we've enjoyed it immensely. It has all the creature comforts we wanted and then some, and it's proven to be a very reliable, well-built coach. We have done some upgrades on it. We changed out the buffet area and put in the computer workstation desk, and we took the face of that old unit and created a new storage unit that really works well for us.
It's beautiful.
And do you have heated floors too?
We do not have heated floors. That's one thing that we're envious of you folks.
I love my heated floors. I absolutely do. Now, it's the difference is I had my work done here, and you did yours yourself. Probably saved you a lot of money because you have to when you do it. Me, I don't have the knowledge you had to do it. I mean, I'm just very honest with you. But you got the same amount of solar panels I do on the roof.
That's correct.
You put those on yourself?
I did.
Did you have any problem with leakage at all?
I have not.
Put dicor and all that stuff down?
Yes.
How long did it take you to put your system in?
Oh, days. I mean, it's a time-consuming process. Probably a day for each batch of 6 solar panels for the rooftop work. And then when I installed the rest of the components, that was probably done over 3 or 4 days. And there was a lot to it, changing the wiring from the transfer switch, running wires to bring a little bit differently than when it came from how it came from the factory. But in my opinion, it's better and performs the way I want it to.
Now, how did you know how to do this? Were you an engineer in your
previous life?
Yeah, previous life.
We installed solar panels on our home 5 years ago or so. So I had some experience with solar in that environment. Of course, things have changed somewhat since then. The equipment, I wish I had some of the equipment available now that I could have used then. But I've always been mechanical and tinker and not really.
Never intimidated by things that he didn't know how to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. But never like you're not a electrical engineer.
I'm not. Although Tim told me this morning, Tim is the sales guy for the RV solar systems here at Solar Energy Systems of Indiana. He told me today, the first time that he met me, that he thought I was an electrical engineer. I guess I'm pretty good at blowing smoke or something.
I think you're pretty good at what you do.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
what did you do before you retired?
I can't tell you that. I was part of the witness protection
He
program.
was not.
And this thing is really messing that up.
And America's Most Wanted thing too. Remember that?
He was a farmer.
I
farmer.
farm.
So
Okay.
Oh,
he
wow.
had to do a lot of different things.
And you
Yeah.
were a parole officer.
I was a probation officer,
Probation
and then I went
officer.
back to school to become a school psychologist. And I worked with a lot of the same families, just in a different role.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make a little
wow.
bit more money too. Huh?
Yeah, and had the
Yeah.
summers off.
There you go.
So, what? Without, I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but I'm just a round figure. Do you figure you have your cost in of what I'm trying to compare to what I did, and see how much
On your
difference it
install-
would
your
be on
install-
your
your
install?
Well, I can go about it a little bit different way. I got an estimate from these folks about what it would cost to install my system, and it was about $6,800.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have to spend $6,800.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So
Uh,
here it was 6,800.
Yes,
So did you buy your solar panels?
I did. I bought them. I bought almost everything here.
Okay.
There's
wow.
a few items.
Talking about labor, 6,800 labor
Yes.
is what they were going to
Okay.
charge him, not over and above
Okay.
whatever.
okay,
Because
I'm
she
sorry.
she looked, she was
I'm
thinking,
thinking.
she was
we-
thinking, don't we spent a lot of money to
Yeah.
get the first. When we came in, we spent a good bit of money to get 2,400 watts solar on the roof.
Mhm.
2, we had to put one more Magnum inverter and 4 Battleborn batteries. And then they moved the batteries from up front to back where they are now. They're inside the downstairs so that they're warm and they don't have to worry about them freezing, basically.
Right.
You know, but it was a lot of money anyway.
Yeah. I have a little bit different strategy for trying to keep the batteries warm. I just plan to stay where it's 72 degrees.
Yeah, I'd love to
Well,
too.
let me
But
tell you
look
something.
where we are today.
It hasn't worked out well for us, has it?
Well, you know, we in the summertime we left Tennessee in May and said we were going to chase 70 degrees.
Kelly asked, "Are we still streaming?" We
I
are
told her.
planning to stream tomorrow night, provided we have there's some minor glitches in one of our inverters they installed for us today, which we don't have power currently to half a coach, but they claim they can
It's just a
solve it over
programming
the
thing.
telephone, but I haven't had anybody call me tonight, so it's probably going to be tomorrow before they do it. But we should be able to.
I forgot what I was saying. You rudely interrupted me.
I rudely interrupted you.
What were we talking about? We were talking about
Labor savings.
Labor savings.
after that something. See, when you
But,
get
you know,
old, that's what happens.
I-
That's why we
I
interrupt each
wanted it first. I wanted to do it myself. That's what I had another guy to do it. She said, no, you're not drilling holes in my roof. You don't know nothing
other.
about
It
it.
wasn't that. There are certain things, certain ways. I really hope I don't have to die, and one of them is in a fire. So, I mean, his dad wired our 5,000 square foot house in Orange Beach. No problem. Slept fine in there. His dad knew what he was doing. But this seemed too big. It seemed way too big.
She said, let's just get, and plus one thing, I talked to you about it earlier. We did call our insurance company and find out, said, look, if we install it or we have somebody help me install it, will you cover it if
Yeah.
something happens? And they said, absolutely not. And maybe if I hadn't set in the thing and it burned down, I just didn't want the problems that it could arise from that. Now, you've had yours looked at by these people,
Expert.
and they said, look, did it better, as good or better than we could do it. So
I don't
Sure.
think they would say that I did better than they
right,
could.
but you did it as
You're
well as
probably
they
right
could
on
do
that.
it. They mentioned that they thought you were an engineer,
Yeah. So
and that you did it as well as they could do it. So
I'm
I think you're-
confident in my install. You know, I ran all the cables in conduit to protect them. You know, I secured the cabling properly. I did good connections. Talking to Tim this morning, again, the sales guy, he told me that the problems that happen, even with jobs that they installed, are connections that work loose because you're driving a vehicle down the road and everything's rattling and shaking, and eventually even the best connections can work loose. And so those need to be checked periodically.
yeah,
And so if I have any glitches in my system at all, first thing I'll look at is connections. I'll go back and I'll check everything.
with a meter.
Some of the computer equipment, if it shows discrepancies, then you'll get error messages, and then I'll take action and look for connections.
See, I think what happened with our refrigerator was because of the power outages and surges. Even though we have a surge protector, you know, we still had those. It was constantly a blinking off and on and stuff. And so I think that was part of our problem. May not have been. It may have just been a 7-year refrigerator, and that's it.
Oh, are you talking about it not working today or
No,
before?
the one we had to have.
Okay.
Yeah, the one we had to have put in because our other one went out.
now the multiplex thing that you've got in yours, I just had installed. That will.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
It's not. You have a multiplex 2. I have the
Okay.
regular multiplex, and I don't recall the reason that Tim recommended that system over the multiplex 2.
Mhm.
Now, can you look at it on your computer?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have the generator start in case there's
I
Is it
have
bad?
I have the box, but I have not installed it yet. In fact, I have the boxes in that drawer right there.
So when
Okay.
you install it, what will happen if your batteries get low? That generator will kick in and charge your batteries.
There's two ways that you can sense it. In fact, the engineer here, Jason, said that you can set it for state of charge. So if the battery drops below, say, 70% state of charge, or drops below a certain voltage level, either one, it'll start the generator.
Okay.
And then it'll charge it up to preset levels. You may not want to charge it all the way up to 100%. You may want to charge it to 80 or 90% or whatever. And then
Just so you can get back, if you got, like y'all got Poncho in here and you don't want him to get.
If
heated
you have
up
the
in
air
there.
conditioner running.
That's
Right.
what I was going to tell
Yeah.
you.
right.
We were chasing 70 degrees. We could not, it came back around. We could not find, when we left Milwaukee area, we searched all over North Dakota, South Dakota, looking
Everything was
everywhere.
100
And it
degrees.
was 100 degrees. And I was like, oh my gosh, we can't go anywhere.
Does anybody have any questions
About
about
that?
solar installs? Or I know this is a big topic. We have tons and tons of questions usually after we do the live stream or on some of our videos. But now would be a great time if you have questions about solar installs. I don't think we have a whole lot of people here yet. That's the issue. What did any of y'all see this thing posted as the live stream coming up for tonight?
Or did it just pop up?
Or did it just pop up? Because I tried to set it about 2:00 this afternoon or whenever I got time.
Okay, while we're waiting for them to come up with their questions and more people to come in, will y'all share with us what y'all are involved in as far as the ministry goes? Because this is something Tommy and I are interested in.
You just down here too.
Sure. Back in 2020,
He
One of
said
my-
it just popped up.
one of my college roommates told me that he and his wife had joined a ministry called SOARS, which stands for Service Ever Ready. And it's an organization that coordinates volunteer folks that typically own RVs that can travel around to Christian ministries around the country. And then they coordinate with the Christian ministries and these volunteers to match them together to get the work done for the ministry. So it's like a helps ministry, for these ministries all over the country. And there's a lot of children camps. We have served at a mission agency in Pennsylvania.
And, what's the one in Florida? Mission Flights International.
Missionary Flights International would be one out of Fort Pierce, Florida. That's on the list. There's Mercy Ships. There's just a lot of different ministries that need help, and there's the people that own RVs are looking for quite often a purpose to their retirement. In fact, one of the things that we have is RVing with a purpose, and Vickie and I have been challenged by a lot of people, but there's a pastor, John Piper, used to be pastor at Bethlehem Church in Minneapolis, and he preached a sermon at a Passion conference probably 25 years ago or so, and the sermon is known as the Seashell Sermon, and in it, among other things, he mocked people who spend the last years at the end of their lives, right before they go to heaven, and he said they're going to stand before Jesus with their shell collection, and we've been given good health and the resources to be able to travel, and so we want to be able to be a blessing to other folks in the remaining years of our life, as long as we're physically able to do so. So we're blessed to be part of the ministry, and folks that are listening can go to soarministries.org and learn more and make contact with those folks, and they can let you know how you can become involved in that.
Okay.
And if you want to reach out to us, you can talk to us as well.
Tell them about what you told me about Smithfield.
Oh my.
Oh, one of
About
the
what's going
ministries, the ministry that we're going to go serve at the end of this month. We're going to be there for November and December. It's called Lighthouse Christian Camp. And the founder felt like he was led by God to a children's camp. And so he was supposed to quit his job, and he wasn't retirement age, he was younger. So he quit his job and he purchased some property and he did the camp, and a bunch of kids from their church came. And at the end of the summer, he got another clear message from God saying, these weren't the kids that I wanted you to serve. And so today that ministry serves 14 surrounding counties around Smithville where they are, and they have buses and they actually go get people. They have churches that bus kids in, and every one of those children goes to camp on a scholarship because there's no way they could have gone.
And they're getting children, you said, from the inner cities,
Yes,
like Nashville, because it's in Tennessee,
Mhm.
around Nashville, Chattanooga, and places like that.
yeah.
So this is a good thing.
Yeah, and
And then
you know,
there was-
too many times that there, kids involved. I mean, I saw it when I was in law enforcement. They're living on the street. You know, they don't have anything to. They get involved in gangs and drugs because they don't have any leadership. No fathers a lot of times, or they don't have in the summertime. The parents, because they work and that's all they can do is work, they just turn them out, and then they get life on the street is they don't get to socialize or get to
But also, you said he built 2 houses.
Yes, he has 2 houses on the campus just so that they can have foster families live in those 2 houses. I think they're 7 bedroom, 7 bath houses. And that way they can keep large families of kids together when they end up going to foster care. And this, they're in a network. They know, the social workers know they're there, and so they can place kids there. And then they also have 2 widows' homes.
Listen at this, y'all. This is for
I
me.
think this is genius with
Yes.
grandmas and children. These 2 homes have kind of a central living space with a kitchen and a dining room and a living space. And then each of those homes also has 4 individual apartments for the widows. And so they each have their own space, but there's space in the middle also. And these ladies pay very little each month to rent those, and it's not income based at all. There's just a fee for being there, and then they're supposed to do 18 hours of volunteer work per week. Well, when we saw there, none of those ladies were only working 18 hours. They were all doing as much as they could, and they were really excited. When we were there, they didn't have kids for camp. They had the Christmas programs. And
so they're like grandmothers
Yes.
to the children that come there. And I had been telling Vickie that I had seen a report on CBS. Where these kids were getting to see grass and cows and donkeys and ride horses and stuff for the very first time. And they interviewed kids as they grew up and the difference it made in their lives. And
at RVs full time. I think it is Finding Our Someday or something like that. That's a male and a female and their 2 young daughters, and they do work like not with ministry per se, but I know they have went out to several farms and worked like 3 or 4 weeks at the farm, helped out on the farm. They've made forever friends with these big ranches out in Wyoming and other places like that. And then I know that I think it was Keep Your Daydream did some work with some Christian ministry work. Well, I think they might have went to Mexico or somewhere. But there's several people that do that. They go around and
but
do
if you need an
type
organization
things.
to get involved with that can help you, this sounds like a good one. I sent our information in and requested some information back because I would like to. I mean, kids are my heart. Kids and teenage, I just love them. A lot of people don't want teenagers around. I went to church with a lot of people that did not like the teenagers. They thought they were disrespectful and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, they are so full of energy and so full of life, and we just need to pour into them. They get sidetracked. We all did. but you just keep pouring into them, and the babies and the children, the toddlers, they just want to be loved on. And and it's something they never forget. I was in Winn-Dixie in Orange Beach one day, and this has been in the last couple of years, and I was checking out, and this girl said, "Miss Dina," and I was like, "Hey," and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you." And then she goes, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, "Your face is familiar, but honey, I'm not sure." Because I was a youth leader for 25 years, and it wasn't even the youth leader part. She said, "You taught me when I was in vacation Bible school in first grade, and you taught me about Jesus." And I lost it. But I mean, to me, we talked about this earlier. I get up and I say, "God, what can I do today that matters in eternity?" That's what matters. And that's where we need to be, because the time is getting short. We know that. And it may be in our lifetime, may not be. But there's so much to do and so many people to reach. And the only way we reach them is with love, with Christ's love. Because otherwise, we're just throwing money at something, or we're busy and we're not doing anything, accomplishing anything.
And another thing I want to touch on is we're up here in Indiana, and I wanted to show you what me and Dina saw today.
Oh, did you get some of them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, y'all wait till you see this.
This is the kind of stuff that
It is absolutely
if I can get it to come up here. Why is it not loading? There it is. These are some of the trees and stuff that we saw today.
Look at the grass.
Just beautiful around town. And this is in the little town of Napanee and the surrounding areas. That was one of the buggies we were following down the road. There's a lot of Amish here. Amish restaurants, really inexpensive, very good cooking.
We're going to
homemade
down
bread.
tomorrow morning
It's just
to a breakfast place.
Just really good. This is
Look
it's
at
just
that.
amazing. That colors that are here is just really, really amazing. That this is the one day when we got here, the actual
Now this
weather was pretty
this was
bad.
today.
That was today, yeah.
Yeah, and the wind has blown for 2 days, and I didn't think there would be any leaves left. I kept saying, "God, they're going to blow all the leaves off," because I love the leaves.
Yeah.
Karen says hello. Hey, Karen. If you're just joining us, this is Rod and Vickie, and they are
Rob.
Rob. Okay.
You said Rod.
Well, my D's and my B's get mixed up.
Okay.
Rob and Vickie. Rob
Hey,
and
Karen.
Vickie, and they are full time, and they do ministry in their RVing time. But I'm a little jealous of them, but it's a good jealousy because they have 28 grandchildren, y'all. It is amazing.
28 grandkids.
28 grandkids.
How is Christmas for y'all? I
They're
mean,
fixing to
surely
find
you
out,
spend
right?
a lot of money at Christmas.
Y'all fixing to find out, aren't you? Y'all gonna get together for Christmas time.
Yeah, Vickie's been giving pajamas.
That matching?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
how
wow.
But when we went on the road full time, that was about the same time that it started being really difficult ordering and getting what you need
in a timely way.
Yeah. And the parents had to tell me the sizes, and so there's a time crunch a little bit. So
Yeah.
we're not doing that anymore. We're doing more experiences with them.
Yeah, that is good. We
Yeah.
when our Dakota turned 14, we said instead of Christmas presents, can we take a vacation together, all 4 of us, and do something? And so we started doing that. We went to New York, and we went to Chattanooga or Nashville, wherever. We went on 2 cruises, and just had the best time. And
Making memories.
that's right.
I think, that's a lot. I've got a lot of friends that do a lot of stuff
They said
with their
28.
kids.
God bless you.
and with their kids, and I tell them, I said, man, you're just making memories. That's what you're doing. A lot of us, it wasn't my father's fault, but he worked all the time, and when he didn't work, he went hunting with his buddies, he went fishing, he went play golf, and so I really didn't. Growing up, I don't remember ever doing much with them. went on a couple of trips with them, but I mean, it wasn't, I mean, when I was 16, 17 years old, they go to Florida and leave me
You
at the
were
house.
14 when they did that.
Yeah, they'd leave me at the house by myself if I wanted to. I didn't want to go. So they just leave me at the house. I mean, I wasn't doing anything I shouldn't do. So I was mature enough to stay at the house by myself.
And see,
But
I
in the
grew up with
city-
six brothers and dad, and he was more interested in football instead of cheerleading. So, it was like, if I happened to be cheering at one of the boys' games, he saw it. Otherwise, he didn't see it. But it was okay. I told you, spend the last 12 years making wine with my daddy, even though I don't drink very much of it, but making wine with daddy, and it's been fun, and we've won all those ribbons. And so, but anyway, was there anything else?
No, we mainly wanted to discuss solar and everything, and to say that we appreciate them letting us come to their RV tonight, because we're having some little glitches with our
But we didn't.
our stuff. We didn't have any
bust in on
idea.
them. We didn't bust in
No.
on them. We asked them in advance because we thought we would have y'all over there.
It's a very, very beautiful coach, so it's
Yeah, it
very
really
nice.
is. They've done a beautiful job.
I see a lot of things that I'd like to take the ideas back to my coach. One is I like having a clock. That is a great idea. And those hangers, see how they got the hangers there on the side of the thing? That's a great idea too.
It is.
And on our old house,
You just don't want me with screws and the screw gun doing anything.
No,
no,
we don't.
No.
I was actually in our other house. We had, prior to going full time, I have bought this coat hanger. It's like a rake, the end of a rake, and mounted on a 25-year-old house. So you look good for the
25-year-old,
125-year-old
almost.
house. Anyway, we appreciate everybody coming in tonight, and I know it's kind of short than what we usually do,
Okay, let
but
me type before you do that. The name of this company.
Medena's going to type the name of this, and also the solar place too. I told they would do that.
Solarministries.com. .org. Okay. All right. And then the solar that we are at is
Solar Energy Systems of Indiana.
Okay.
You can find it online at scsindiana.com.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's do the first one. Solar, ENERGY. Solar Energy Systems of Indiana.
Yes.
And if you call them or contact with them,
SES.
Indiana.com.
if you contact them, ask for Tim, and he can help you out. He's one of the sales guys there. Tell him we sent you.
Indiana. Okay, Indiana.com.
Yes.
Okay, so I put those there. Tommy can go back and put them in our, what is it called?
In the comment section or whatever. Oh, no, below us.
Community.
No, I can put it below us too.
Okay.
But anyway, we appreciate everybody coming
Let's say
tonight,
hi,
and
Rob,
sorry for the last minute announcement. I put it on there, and I always post some type of reply to StreamYard to make, they always attempt to make the platform better, so I'll put a little thing in there. But we do appreciate y'all stopping by, and
don't forget to watch us tomorrow night on the Miss Live stream.
And we will if you're not subscribed, we would sure appreciate it if you would subscribe.
We're trying to talk them into a YouTube channel. I think it would be fantastic because he could help you with your problems. He could tell you what to do. We didn't know until today you can pull a Tacoma flat tow it. Who knew that?
That's right. Who knew it? All righty. Y'all take it easy. We love y'all. Have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.